Professor Hill testified that sometimes you sometimes discussed how your son was doing, for example, with her. How your son was doing.
No, I don't remember that. I brought my son to the office quite a bit. He was a young kid then. My wife and I were separated, and he would be in the office. And
I'm not going anywhere in terms of your son. I'm just trying to get a sense of the flavor of the conversation.
And I'm trying to tell you, I don't remember that. I discussed my son, perhaps, and the problems that I was having from a financial standpoint. I may have mentioned it to my secretary, but I don't remember mentioning that Professor Hill. And what I'm suggesting to you now is that my son, because he was living with his mother, came to the office fairly frequently and was around.
I understand that. When we were having as a mild digression, we were having the full committee meeting over here. There was a knock on the door. We asked not to be disturbed, and in walked my 10-year-old daughter. So I understand about children being at work.
Crazy IQ of the whole meeting.
How can I disagree with that? Now, Judge, you testified that you never asked out Professor Hill on a date, ever.
That's right.
Is that correct? Now, as I'm sure, if you don't know, I'm sure was pointed out to you, and we all know that everything that's reported isn't true, not because it's intentionally meant to mislead, but sometimes there is a miscommunication. It was reported in the New York Times on the 7th of October on page A13 that Judge Thomas told the investigators, meaning the paper's investigators, that he had asked the woman out a few times, and after she declined, eventually dropped all advances. I assume that is a misunderstanding. Someone rapidly writing back to tell me without my glasses I've misread it? What's it say?
FBI investigators.
I don't have my glasses. What's that say?
Can you borrow mine?
Yeah. Thank you. He's only twice my age, too.
But young or otherwise.
That's exactly right. It says, Senator Biden said in a statement today the allegations were investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigation at the request of the Judiciary Committee, period. Judge Thomas, this did not come from Senator Biden, Judge Thomas told the Bureau's investigators that he had asked the woman out a few times, and after she declined, eventually dropped all advances. That is incorrect.
That is wrong.
Wrong.
I had the occasion to be re-investigated by the FBI agents prior to this hearing.
Thank you.
In fact, I believe it would have been on Thursday afternoon. And the FBI agent in my living room stated that it was wrong. The very same FBI agents who interviewed me and indicated that he was distressed that this matter had been reported that way. At no time did I ever indicate that I ever asked her out. I categorically denied that I ever asked her on a date.
That's why I asked you the question, Judge, to make sure it's on the record what you said. I thought that's what you had said, but it's been sitting out there. Let me return to your discussions, if any, with Professor Hill that may have been of a non-work nature.
Pardon me?
That may have been, as you've indicated, there were some discussions you've had with her about Yale Law School, about discussions or conversations or exchanges at work that did not relate to what was going on at work, which would be almost impossible for anyone in the whole world to not have in a business setting. Somebody, you don't every time, we don't, thank you, we don't, you don't, as you've testified, I want to make it clear, always and only talk to your staff about precisely what the business is. So you've indicated that you have had some discussions with her about Yale Law School, how it was going, how it's changed,
Mutual friends, particularly Gil Hardy. It may have been current events, those sorts of things. The things I talk with my clerks about are the other members of my staff.
Did you ever inquire about, or did she ever volunteer, to the best of your recollections, anything about her social life? I can't stay late tonight. I've got a date. Yeah, that fellow you mentioned at the Supreme Court from Yale, I'm dating him, or anything. Was there any discussion ever that you recall about her social life?
She may have said, I've got to leave tonight because I'm going out to dinner. I can't recall a specific, nor would there'd be any reason for me. It would be simply a reason for her not being at work. There may have been an indication of what she was doing. There'd be no extensive discussion about that. I don't see any reason why that would happen. I mean, today what my clerks would simply do is I'm having dinner with a couple of friends of mine from law school. The only thing that I can remember, and this is very general, was that I believe, and I could be misrecalling this, was that she had dated someone in Oklahoma who came to New England or something, and they weren't together or something like that. That's really vague.
No, that's what, I mean, it's kind of hard to remember, for anybody to remember anything of a passing topic that is a while ago. You emphasized here today, earlier, this is again, we're all trying to find out what it could be, what could be a motivation if in fact what you say is true and what she says is not true. How this happened. You indicated that today that a deceased friend of yours who was your Holy Cross classmate, law school classmate, summer roommate, had referred, and is now deceased as I understand it.
That's right.
Had referred Anita Hill to you. And I do not have the transcript from this morning, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but that you said you had a special obligation as a consequence of his referral. Now, did that special obligation result in any additional, now make it clear now, okay? For the moment, I'm not talking about the allegations. I'm trying to figure the relationship. Did that special relationship that obligation, wrong word, a special obligation, did that impact on your relationship, professional or otherwise, with Anita Hill in a way any differently than it has with any other person who has worked for you? Did you feel a special obligation to look out for her? She was a young woman, and say, now look, be careful what you do in this city. Certain parts of the city are dangerous, or you gotta, or be careful who you date, or make sure you call your mother, or have you called? Was his name Gil?
Yeah.
Have you called Gil to, he's concerned about you? You want to keep or anything of that nature?
I don't recall anything of that nature, Senator. What I was referring to was to make sure that I looked out for her career, that she got solid work, to make sure that everything was okay at work, that she got her promotions, those kinds of things. The kind of relationship that you're talking about that in your examples, those are the kinds of things I look out for with young interns who work with me during the summer, or individuals who are in co-op programs, those individuals. I have had some who were 19, 20 years old that I would treat more like my own son.
Right.
Or daughter.